Alright, hey guys, welcome to another quick take video. We're just going to kind of be discussing the the hints towards the upcoming next main FNAF game, the very few hints that we do have, and sort of just sharing my opinions on them, and I guess theories, predictions, and hopes/concerns for what we can expect in this game. Now, I did try to record an earlier attempt, but it just turned into me ranting about Steel Wolf FNAF games, so I'm going to try to avoid doing that. And basically what I want to do is bring up some hopes to see in the game, but also some concerns about what is actually going to happen. So, for starters, what is going to be the basic premise of the game? Obviously, we don't have anything confirmed right now, but it's heavily implied to be the Cassie continuation. So after the events of Ruin, you are going to follow along with Cassie again after she fell down the elevator shaft, and presumably making our way back out of, I'm guessing, the MCM facility, because that's what's down there. I would be extremely upset if they introduced another underground thing that was below the MCM facility. I think that would be extremely stupid. So presumably it's just going to be the MCM facility, like the basement and underground areas again. I'm guessing that's what it's going to be. So presumably we're just going to go through MCM again, which does bring up the idea that this is just going to be Secret of the Mimic 2, which is a little bit questionable, but I'm not going to bring that up here because I'm just going to go on another rant about the Secret of the Mimic games anyway, so I'm going to avoid talking about that. But it does bring up the concern that it's just going to be Secret of the Mimic again, which is just going to be Ruin 3/Security Breach 4. So there is some concerns there, but I can't really complain since that's basically what the old Scott games were like, but whatever. So, assumedly, that's what we're going to be looking at. It's going to be another one of those, I'm assuming the same sort of style that we saw in Ruin/Secret of the Mimic with, like, the 3D. I'm thinking they're not going to do the whole VR thing again, because it seemed to be a disaster for them with Secret of the Mimic, since it's not in VR at all, despite the fact that the game was clearly made for VR. So I don't know what the heck happened, but I'm assuming they're going to kind of avoid the VR aspect of it and just go with a standard Security Breach 3D environment. But outside of that, we, again, really don't know anything. So, some hopes to see in the game. If it's going to take place in the underground MCM facility, I would love to see very similar aspects to stuff like the Tiger Rock and Sleepy Moon sections in Secret of the Mimic, where it's this like smaller, more confined and condensed space with this creepy, like, dark area, and there's this like ghostly thing chasing you down, like the Tiger Rock section, right? You're in this dark area, you can't really see anything, you don't get a flashlight, and Tiger Rock can just spawn like right in front of you, and he appears out of the darkness. I think if they go down that route and they go for a more creepy, sort of like a stalking-esque style of gameplay, I think it stands the chance to be the best FNAF game since Help Wanted, which I think is the pinnacle of Steel Wolf's FNAF games, which kind of sucks that it's the first one, but whatever. So there stands the chance to have it be a really scary game, and I'm hoping that they actually do that. My concern is that they're going to take the praise from Secret of the Mimic and just do more of that. And while I don't mind some of it, I really was not scared by that game at all, except for the Tiger Rock and Sleepy Moon sections. So having it just be more chase sequences and more puzzle solving, I am not down for. I really am not a big fan of those kind of games. I like stuff like Poppy Playtime. I think it's fun, but in that case, you have a grab pack, so it makes things a little bit more fun. And while Poppy Playtime does have a lot of chase sequences and puzzle solving, I'm not the biggest fan of that either. I think you have to do it right to make it work. It's also a different setting too. So my biggest concern is that they're just going to do more of that, and it's just going to be another not scary game, because it's really not. Unless they can find a good way to kind of balance out the chase sequences, like the Huggy chase sequence in Poppy Playtime 1, I think works as it being scary, because you're in this like small vent way and you're being chased by an actually fast character that's hunting you down, versus something like the Jackie or Dolly chase sequences, which is just like entirely like scripted on rails, and it's wide open spaces, so you don't really feel all that scared by it because you can just outrun the character like super easily, and there's nothing really to be like, oh, I'm in a tight condensed space. It's like, oh, well, I'm just in like a wide open bottomless pit factory, and Dolly's not even chasing me anymore. So I'm kind of ranting about Secret of the Mimic. Sorry, I'll try to get back on the track here, but I guess that's sort of my biggest concern, is that it's just going to be more of that, and I don't think that makes for a very scary game. And looking at their track record, Help Wanted is scary. I think they nailed the FNAF style with Help Wanted. Security Breach is not scary. I love Security Breach. It's one of my favorite FNAF games, but it is not scary. Ruin, not scary at all. Secret of the Mimic, not scary. Help Wanted 2, depends on what game you're playing, but like half of them are just kind of like fun games, so they're not scary. So we really haven't had a good scary FNAF game since Help Wanted. We've had moments, some in Help Wanted 2, and there were some moments in Secret of the Mimic that were scary, but we haven't actually had a game itself that was scary like the entire way through since Help Wanted. I want a scary FNAF game, and they have the chance to do so. If they take the elements of the Tiger Rock section and the Sleepy Moon section from Secret of the Mimic, mix it with like the creepy, dark, like kind of constraint and claustrophobic is a good word to put it, like claustrophobic setting where it's all this kind of like ruined and small areas that you gotta walk through to get to where you're trying to go. I think it stands like there stands the ability to have this game be scary. I think that there is ample opportunity for it to be a scary game if done right. And I know Steel Wool can do it since they've made a scary FNAF game before, and they've made scary FNAF sections before. But I just am a little bit worried based on how Secret of the Mimic was so well received for its kind of lackluster gameplay, in my opinion. Now, again, all of this is my opinion, so if they do another puzzle-solving chase sequences in this big facility and it's like, oh, it's so scary, but it's really not, I'll play it. It's not like I'm not going to play it. And at the end of the day, I do like Secret of the Mimic in some ways. I'm allowed to not like the gameplay, all right? I'm just going to say it. I'm allowed to not like the gameplay. I can say the gameplay is kind of dry, and I'm allowed to say that. And I'm allowed to be worried about what we could potentially see with this next game. So my only hope is that they take the ideas of the scary sections from their previous games and implement them here in a cool way. Or it's just going to be another Ruin and it's going to be like not scary. So who really knows? Nobody really knows at this point, since we know nothing about this game at all, except for that it's maybe going to be titled Abyss in some way, shape, or form, and it's probably going to be the Cassie continuation. And at the end of the day, maybe it doesn't even have to do with that. So who really knows? But I just kind of wanted to share my concerns, but also like, hey, this is almost like not a turning point. I'm trying to think of a good way to word it, but like, it's a careful balancing act where they can either tip it to be like, it's either going to tip and be like really cool and scary, or tip and be like, it's just going to be another Secret of the Mimic, Ruin, Security Breach, not scary. So it's just sort of up in the air, kind of waffling on, I guess, what we can see. Obviously, again, there's nothing on this, so all of this is just stuff that I'm theorizing on, if you will, predicting on. So take everything I say with a grain of salt, and who knows, maybe they'll throw everything out the window and have it be some other random nonsense and whatever, like who really knows. But if done correct, we stand the chance to actually have a return to form scary FNAF game, especially if they include ghosts. Bring back the paranormal. That's what makes FNAF scary. Not rogue AI wiggly fingers chasing me down. I don't know. And again, some of that's my nostalgia poking through and being like, I miss the old days of FNAF when it was actually scary and cool. But I know Steel Wool can make a good scary FNAF game, because they've done so. Help Wanted. It's my second favorite FNAF game of all time. I love that game. So they have the ability to do so. I just wish they would do it again and stop making Security Breach clones. because it's not scary. Like, the original 4 FNAF games, oh, sure, they're all kind of very similar, but that's because they're scary. Security Breach, Ruin, and Secret of the Mimic aren't scary. I don't really get scared by any of them unless it's like a random jump scare. Like, I turn a corner and Chica's right there and like, whoa, okay, that caught me off guard. But that's not the same kind of a thing as whatever. Okay, I'm gonna go on a rant here if I keep talking, so I'm gonna end the video off here. A little bit of a sort of odd, rambly one, but that tends to be what these quick takes are anyway. So we'll just kind of wrap things up here. Again, all of this is basically just my own theorizing, predictions, and opinions on things. So take everything here with, again, a grain of salt, and with the mindset that like this is just my viewpoints on things. So anyway, that's gonna be it. We'll do a quick outro here. Shout out to the channel members. Thank you guys very much. If you guys, other people out there, want to be a channel member, it's down below. You can join and you can get a shout out like this one in pretty much every video I do. So again, thank you to my channel members, and here is your video shout out. And yeah, with that, thanks for watching. I hope that you found this video mildly entertaining. And for your questions of the day, question number 1, what are your thoughts and predictions on what we can expect to see in a future FNAF game? Or I guess like the next upcoming FNAF game. And second question can be whatever the heck you want. Just tell me a fun fact about yourself. There's your second question. It's not really a question, but like there's your second thing. Anyway, that's gonna be it. Comment down below if you made it this far in the video. And with that, I will see you around in the next one. Adios.